Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first ever potting shed diaries in the new garden. I mean, we've been here for a year and a half now, if you can believe that. I can't believe that. Honestly, I don't know where the time's gone. But yeah, a year and a half. Wow. So yeah, this is the first potting shed video. Actually, to be honest, I'll talk about the shed in a minute, but we haven't had this up for very long, and it's what I call a temporary shed, but I'm gonna roll with it. I mean, it's a shed, so it will do. And I wanted to start these videos up again for quite a long time. I mean, I do like to chat. So I do warn you, for all the new people who have just found my videos, yeah, I do like to chat. Once I start, it's quite hard to stop, so there's a little warning for you there. I have been told in the comments before to stop apologising for how much I talk on these videos, so I'm not going to apologise, I'm just going to warn you. But what I will do is I will do a little bit of an introduction for all the new followers out there. My name's Katie. I am currently 34 years old. I am an avid tea drinker. As you can tell, I always have to have a cup of tea with me. I like reading books, I like going on hikes, I like gardening. Gardening is a huge, well, I would say it's probably my #1 hobby. So I have a lot of hobbies. I like to knit. I like to sew. I like to cross stitch. I like to paint. Yeah, do you know what? That's not actually that many, is it? No, that's not too bad actually. Not that I have time for all of those hobbies. Not that I have time at all. But yeah, I'm currently still living at home with my parents, unfortunately. I mean, I say unfortunately, I think society pressures like make you feel embarrassed about that, but really I get on really well with my parents. But yeah, it would be quite nice to get my own place quite soon. But yes, so name, hobbies, what else should I don't know what else there is to tell you really. I mean, I suppose if you don't know already, we used to have an allotment down in Southampton, but a year and a half ago we moved to the Welsh borders, and we have about an acre of land, so we've set up a little bit of a kitchen garden in the back garden, which is great. there's still so much work to do, and what I will do is start up some like monthly tour videos. Obviously I used to do quite a lot of videos on the old allotment, but I just really struggled with time, just finding time to do it. So I think what I might do is just do like the monthly tour videos, these videos where I'm just chatting in the shed, and then I might also start up my crafty videos as well, because I know quite a lot of you like them, and I like showing you what I make as well. So yeah, that's the plan. That is basically me. I'm Katie, I like to drink tea and I like to garden. That's basically it. Actually, I'm going to pour my tea because it's probably ready. This is my new favourite tea. It's from Miles Tea, and it's Earl Grey with cornflower. Oh my gosh. It's my favourite. It's so delicious. So delicious. Right. Oh gosh, a nice big cup of tea. I can't believe how nice it is today. Like, I thought it was going to rain. That's why I thought, well, I'll sit in the shed and I'll talk, because if it's going to rain, that's fine. You know, there's no problem because I'll be in the shed. But my gosh, you can see the sunshine on my face, like it's blinding me. It's amazing. It feels like we haven't seen the sunshine that often. This past winter has just been so wet, so miserable. I feel like we haven't really had many cold snaps, and I know we tend to get them a bit later now, don't we? We tend to get them in like March time. But yeah, it's just been so wet and disgusting. And it's just been really hard to get out in the garden to do any work because it's just been too wet and too muddy. But yeah, things are looking on the up and we're starting to really crack on now. So the whole plan, and I know I'm really, really late to the party, but I am starting to get into the whole no-dig method. I got one of Charles Dowden's no-dig books for Christmas actually, so I've been reading that, and I feel like I'm just starting to convert to it. Like I said, I'm really late to the party, but better late than never, I suppose. And I think the problem with us is because we were in such a rush to get the garden done, and to get something in the ground. I think we rushed it. You know, we bought in a man with a JCB, and he sort of dug it all over, levelled it all off, which I feel like in hindsight was probably a bit of a mistake, although we did need to take some hedging and stuff out anyway. I mean, it's hard to know what to do, isn't it? Because I feel like one of the beds where the potatoes grew last year is full of couch grass. Couch grass. Couch grass. And the nettles are popping up as well now, so I feel like we just made the matters worse with the weeds. So what I was going to do is go no-dig this year and order in some compost, because we're going to need a lot of compost. There's 4 vegetable beds there, which are they 9 metres by 6 metres, so there's 4 of those. It's quite big. I mean, that's a lot of compost. A lot of compost to order in. But yeah, I was going to order that in and cover and mulch, but I feel like because the couch grass and the nettles are such perennial strong weeds, what we've decided to do is to try and dig them out before we commit to going no dig. I mean, that might not make any sense. I think it makes sense. That's the plan anyway. That's the plan. So that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, what we've been doing the past couple of weeks is just working our way through, digging over, taking as much of the weeds out as we can. And actually, it's going alright. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it was, but it's going okay. I feel like 2 of the beds are near enough done. One of the beds is about a quarter done, and the potato bed is about a quarter done as well. So yeah, not too bad, and I feel like we've still got plenty of time. I think quite a lot of people like rush into sowing seeds far too early, and I mean, for instance, like today, that sun's shining, it's quite warm, it's beautiful. You just get that sort of false sense of security that spring is here when it's not. The weather likes to do that to us, likes to trick us. So yeah, I feel like we're cracking on. We are cracking on. Polytunnel is up, which is good. Again, that took a long time, but that's up. But I feel like with the polytunnel, it's going to take us a little while to actually get used to growing in a polytunnel, because we've never done it before. And it's like it feels like a whole new world growing in a polytunnel, like completely different to growing out here. So I think it's going to be a big learning curve, and I think it's going to take us a little while to get used to just to growing in there, and I think it's going to take us a little while, but it's very exciting. I think we've done okay for our first winter. I mean, there's cabbages in there. We had some radish. I actually need to sow some more radish. Yeah, I'm going to sow some more radish. There's carrots in there. There's broad beans. We've also just planted some salad potatoes as a little bit of an experiment, because I know it's still a little bit too early to plant the potatoes out in the polytunnel. But we thought we would experiment. And see how it goes. I mean, that's the fun of it, isn't it? Yeah, so the polytunnel's up. The fruit bed is a work in progress. What I have done with that actually is I have covered it with black plastic. We had some black plastic left over from something. So I covered that because I let that go to weed, and it's horrendous. It was horrendous. I thought I'll dig it over, but it was such hard work. So again, that's a bit of an experiment. I've dug around each bush, and I've dug around the raspberry canes, because we have 4 blackcurrants, 2 gooseberries, although one died. And then we have 2 rows of raspberries. So I dug around each of them, and then I've covered them with black plastic. That's all I'm doing to that. I'm hoping that that's going to kill the weeds off. And then we'll have a nice fruit cage. I think what I might do anyway with that is edge it in wood, put some bark or some wood chip down, and then hopefully build a sort of frame to go over it then as like a walking cage to stop the birds getting the berries. But yeah, I mean, it's slow progress, but we're getting there. The only thing which is taking even more time is the greenhouse and the shed. So we still don't have a greenhouse, and if I'm honest, like I can't see us getting one for a little while, just because I feel like the greenhouse which we would really like is quite expensive. So I don't know if we're just going to just go down the route of getting, you know, a cheaper one, which doesn't look as nice, but I mean, it's still going to do the job, isn't it? So yeah, I don't know which route we're going to go down. And then also with the potting shed, my dad really wants to make one, which I'm all for. Like, that would be amazing, it'd be great. But because we're so busy, like, it's just one of those jobs that keeps getting pushed back, which is why we put up this shed. Which is a temporary shed. So this shed here is the shed which we take to the garden shows. I forgot to mention what I do for a living. Hang on. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So me and my dad, and now my brother, who's just joined forces with us, we have a little family business called Orchard Garden Antiques, where we deal in vintage gardenalia, if that's the word. Vintage things for the garden, basically. So galvanised planters and, you know, enamel, copper, just like little knicky-knacks, garden decor, decor for the house as well. Yeah, just nice little vintage bits for the garden and the home. We deal in that, and we also make metalwork for the garden as well. So we do the plant supports, we do like crooks, we do border edging, wigwams, label crooks. Yeah, we do quite a lot of metalwork, which it's really nice actually. I mean, we use it in our own garden. And we also sell at garden shows. So we sell online at Orchard Garden Antiques, and we sell at some garden shows. So we used to do quite a lot of garden shows, but now we've narrowed them down to about 4. So we do the Malvern Spring, we do the Harrogate Spring Show, we do RHS Hampton Court, and we do RHS Tatton as well. And sometimes we also do the Malvern Autumn Show as well, which I think is in September, which is quite late. Sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't. But all the details are on the website as well, under the events page. So yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. I don't know why I forgot to mention that at the beginning. Anyway, I've completely forgotten where I was now. I know I was talking about the shed, wasn't I? So yeah, this is the shed which we take to the shows, because with the RHS shows you need to make it look pretty. So we take the shed with us to have on the stand. So yeah, so I'm not allowed to paint it. I am under strict instruction not to paint it purple. And for all you followers who have followed me for quite a long time, you obviously know that I had a little purple shed, which I miss. I miss it so much. It's odd to think that you could miss a shed so much, but yeah, I miss it. I wish I brought it with me, because I mean we could have put it up in hindsight. I mean, it was a big old thing to bring with us. But yeah, I wish I had kept it. I did keep the little oven, so that's going to go in the new shed. But for now, this one is just basically somewhere where we keep our tools. We keep, daily tubers and stuff. It's so messy, like I'm crying on the inside because it's just messy, and I like organisation. But what I was going to do was maybe put like a little tabletop up here, put like a shelf up so I can have some little knicky-knacks. I mean, there's a shelf there with some knicky-knacks, but yeah, just have like a little tabletop made from scaffold boards, so we've got somewhere to maybe do a little bit of potting on. I mean, we can do it in the polytunnel. We've got a table in the polytunnel to do for potting on and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, there's just something about a shed, isn't there? Just coming here and sitting in the shed. It's just nice, drinking tea. So yeah, not allowed to paint it purple. I know a lot of people have said, when are you going to paint it purple? Like, why aren't you painting it purple? I'm not allowed. It would have been painted purple. I can assure you, it would have been painted purple. So yeah, I mean, there's not much else to talk about the garden really, because I will talk about it in the tour. We have sort of planned for this year. So I have drawn out the sort of graph paper plan in my bag somewhere. Oh, here. So I've just drawn out like the 4 vegetable beds on the graph paper, so we can actually plan what we're growing, so we can order the seeds and get that started. Because obviously the main layout's not going to change. No, it's not. It's not. We've changed it a few times in the past year, but it's not going to change anymore. So yeah, just the 4 vegetable beds with what we're growing. Again, same sort of stuff. I will go through this in more detail in the tour video, but we are going to grow a few new things, which is very exciting. You would think that after, has it been 10 years of gardening, that I would know what I'm doing. I don't. I don't know what I'm doing. Every year I learn something new, and every year changes. So like, it's just constant learning, which is what makes gardening so fun, because like it's never the same, is it? It's never the same. But yeah, so this year we're going to try some celeriac. Never tried to grow it. I actually haven't tasted it before. So with this celeriac and the fennel, we're just growing some shorter rows just to try it out, because obviously if we don't like the taste of it, then there's no point growing it, really, is there? And then also going to try growing celery. I'm so surprised that I've never grown celery before, because it's like a staple crop, isn't it? But again, never tried it, and I mean, I like it, so we're gonna try it. We're gonna give it a go anyway. I think that's the only new things we're trying. Trying garlic again, which it's growing okay. It's there. I tried to grow garlic, I think once years ago, and failed miserably, and then I was like, I'm never growing it again, never. But I really like garlic. I love garlic, so I'm trying it again. And then also what I am going to try growing, and I've seen quite a lot of people grow it on Instagram actually, loofers. I think that's how you say it. The spongy things that you wash yourself with. I've always wanted to grow one, and then I think I saw someone on Instagram mention about sowing them the other day, and I was like, yes, I'm going to try to grow one this year. I'm going to try. So we're going to put one of them in the polytunnel, along with a melon. I can't forget melon. We've never grown melon before, but again, it's something that we really like, so we're going to try doing that in the polytunnel as well. Very, very exciting. Very exciting. Need to order the seeds actually. went to one of our local garden centres. I say local, it's like 45 minutes away. That's local. Yeah, went to a garden centre, so I'm going to sip my tea again because I think it's getting cold. I told you I talk a bit too much. Yeah, went to one of the local garden centres with this long list of seeds. I was so determined. I was like, well, I'm going to buy all the seeds today, you know, get that sorted. I think I bought 3 flowers which weren't on the list. And that was it. Like, they didn't have that many seeds, and this was a big garden centre, a huge garden centre. And because they didn't really have like what we wanted, I was just like, do you know what, let's just go home, sit on the computer and just order them online. And I know you shouldn't do that, you should support your local garden centres, but yeah, they just didn't have them there, which is madness. So yeah, I feel like I've talked about the garden enough. But what I do like to do while we're on the theme of gardens is in the past potting shed. Oh, the chickens were really loud. Hang on. They were right. I was going to say the chickens were really loud, then I thought something was wrong. Yeah, in the past potting shed videos, I liked to do like a book review. So I'm going to keep that up because I think I mentioned earlier, I hope I did, because if not, I've missed out a load of stuff about me. I like to read books. I am a book addict, which goes quite well with drinking tea, actually. I'm so sorry. Yeah, a book review. There were a lot of books which I could show you today. But I mean, there'll be more videos, won't there? There'll be more videos. But the one I want to talk to you about is one I've actually recently just read. And honest to God, I do not know why I have not read it before now, because it was amazing. Bear in mind, it's a children's book, but oh my gosh, like I couldn't put it down. It was so good, just the way that it was written and the way that it described the garden, and it was just, it's so magical, so magical. I'm going to put my tea down now because it's cold. I would say the book which I say review, I mean it's not really a review, I'm going to show you and talk about is The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Yeah, oh, I mean you've probably read it already, but if you haven't, please do. Like, I cannot express how magical and how lovely it is. Like, it just made me feel really good inside. Actually made me want to come out and garden and try and create my own secret garden, because it just, the way that they described it was just so beautiful, so beautiful. Yeah, a really lovely book. And this one's quite pretty, actually. I am a sucker for a pretty book, pretty books and pretty notebooks. I love, like, they have my heart. Oh, I think this is this is it puffin? Yeah, because I collect the hardback. Oh, the jiffy. I have read it, honestly. I collect the hardback. Are they the penguin ones? Anyway, yeah, I do like collecting books with pretty covers. But yeah, this is such a magical book. So yeah, if you haven't read it, go out and read it, and you will love it. You will fly through it. Honestly, I think I read this in less than a week. Yeah, it is just such a lovely, lovely book. And you know what I really like about it? They're children, and every single day, and I know it's a completely different era, like a completely different time period. Every single day they ran outside to go in the garden, do some gardening, you know, talk to the animals, just be in nature. And it's so lovely to think the children were like that, because I can't imagine that many of them are now, which is such a shame. I mean, hopefully if I ever have kids, yeah, they'll just be outdoors, you know, eating mud and doing stuff like that. But yeah, lovely book, really beautiful book. So go out and read it if you have not read it already. I think that's probably, I mean, it's nearly been half an hour, so I feel like we should probably end the video quite soon. I am going to talk about something personal now. I don't know why I'm laughing. So January has been a really, really rubbish month for me. Like, it's just been horror. It's been horrible. And it's just, I think what I'm trying to come to terms with is the fact that, like, the end of last year and the beginning of this year, actually, like, I was so unbelievably happy. Like, I was so happy and so content and so excited about the future. Like, I was so excited about the future, and that's all like, it's all changed now. So I'm gonna try. I promise I will try not to cry. One of the things which did happen, which I will talk about, and obviously the people who have followed me for a while know that I had a dog called Teddy, a little Jack Russell Terrier. He was, yeah. So I basically made the really, really tough decision to rehome him. Actually, a couple of weeks ago now, so it's still quite fresh. So Ted, he was like my best buddy. He was my best buddy. I had him from a puppy, and he was 3 years old, so he's still quite young. He had a lot of behavioural issues, which made life really, really stressful. And I feel like I'm probably going to get some hate for this. And believe me when I say, like, I hate myself about it. Like, I feel so guilty and so horrible for giving him up, but I feel like I made the best decision for both of us. Because of his behavioural issues, he was really hard to live with, to be honest. He was the biggest stress of my life. Like, I loved him, I adored him, but yeah, he was the biggest stress of my life. He didn't like people, so he would bark and lunge at people, which made it impossible to go anywhere, and that was hard, because, like, I wanted to go places and go on adventures with him, and that was the whole idea of getting him, was to go on all these adventures together, because it was just me and him. You know, it was going to be me and him against the world. But yeah, because of his behavioural issues, it was just extremely hard to do that. Like, we just couldn't, because it wasn't fair on him, and to put him in those situations. And then just things like coming out into the garden, he would just bark constantly. He'd bark constantly in the house all the time. And I throughout the time in Southampton, we used to go to behaviourist, used to go to training lessons. When we came here, I also took him to training lessons, to try and, to try and control the situation, to make him feel better. So I feel like I did really work on it. Like I worked so hard on his training, and all my attention, all my focus, everything was on Ted every single day. And it just, my anxiety was getting worse, which meant his anxiety was getting worse. And then you were just like, you were stuck in like a circle. And there were times when he would lunge then at my dad for no reason in the house. He'd get up off the sofa and Ted would like lunge at him. There were a couple of times when he did the same to my niece and my nephew. And yeah, I knew he was struggling and I was really struggling. So yeah, I made the decision to rehome him for both of us. And I found, this lady actually came forward, who, she's amazing, like she's amazing. And for the past 2 weeks then, I've been getting regular updates from her about how well he settled in and how much he's loved and all the adventures he's going on and how settled he is. And I stand by my decision to rehome him. Like, it was the toughest decision of my life. But he's happy. He seems happy in his new home, and that's the biggest thing for me. Like I do really miss him, but like I said, it was the best way forward for the both of us. Yeah, it was the best for both of us, basically. And I think it's just such a relief for me to see him, or to hear about him being in his new home. I mean, he's got 5 acres to run around with. He's got a loving family who absolutely dotes on him. And that's a huge relief for me to know that he's happy. So that's that's the story of Ted, little Ted. So yeah, January's been so rubbish and just so long. And yeah, I've really struggled this past week. Really struggled. I haven't really been sleeping. Hence why I look so rough. Yeah, I haven't really been sleeping. Actually, I've lost my appetite as well, which is really weird because I quite like my food. But yeah, it's just been a really crappy month. And I wasn't expecting it to be. Yeah, which is another reason why I think I started up these videos, because I wanted to focus on something. Like, I'm the type of person that has to be kept busy. I like being kept busy. I cannot watch the television without knitting or cross-stitching. Like, I'm that annoying person, I'm afraid. Yeah, it's really hard for me just to sit still. So I thought, I'm going to start those videos up again. I'm going to talk and talk and talk. And yeah, just focus on something. And do you know what? I have really missed doing these videos. I have, but like I said, it's just been the time in doing them. But yeah, I really miss chatting. And it's like a therapy for me as well. It is a therapy for me. Like, it's an odd one because, like, you wouldn't think it, but I'm quite a shy person. I'm quite shy. Like, it takes me quite a long time to like fully be myself around people, which I know is one of my huge flaws. And I feel like, if anything, what's happened in my personal life, like I feel like it's taught me a huge lesson, which is, it's basically just be yourself. Like, just don't worry, don't be scared, like just be yourself, you know, just be yourself. If you want to dance in the kitchen, dance. If you want to sing out loud, sing. I mean, I can't sing and I can't dance, but I do it. I do it anyway. But yeah, just like, don't be afraid of like embarrassing yourself, or like don't be afraid that someone's gonna think you're crazy for dancing. Just do it. Just do it, basically. Yeah, just do it. Like, I'm a very I don't know. I'm a very affectionate and very I feel like I'm really like outgoing, but like just for some reason I just hide it. I don't know why. Anyway, so yeah, going forward, just be yourself. Just do it. Don't worry about what other people think of you. Just do it. There's a little motto to end the video on. Just be yourself. That's quite a nice way to end the video, to be honest. My gosh, it's been nearly 14 minutes. I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna go and make another cup of tea because it's stone cold. Stone cold. But yeah, hopefully it won't be long until the next video. I still feel like I've got so much to talk to you about. I mean, I haven't even talked about the chickens. Can you believe it? Yeah, still got a lot to talk about. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to film the January tour as well. Hopefully today. And get that out as well. So yeah, thank you so much if you've lasted this long. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, thank you so much, and I'll hopefully see you very soon for another Potting Shed Diaries. Right, stone cold tea.